Let me ask you a very simple question. What does it mean to win in Jiu-Jitsu? Immediate answers that pop into your head might be to collect all the gold medals at a tournament like Midas with Kleptomania, or it might be to smash everyone at your gym and have them talk about you like you're prime King Von.
He was a serial killer who bragged about killing people, and he professed and confessed to be a demon.
He was that, bruh. If he wanted you out of there, he'll go do it himself on feet by himself.
Vaughn gave me a lot of passes.
Those are legit answers, but I'd like to dig a bit deeper into that topic because I do think that a win isn't so black and white. It's not tap or get tapped necessarily. 99% of people would answer like you. That win comes when you win a match. Duh. And get your hand raised. However you do it, whether you submit the guy, you win on points, ref's decision, or God forbid you face Tex Johnson and he just punches you in the face for literally no reason, getting himself DQ'd. To me, this is a very binary answer. You either win the match or you lose the match. Which of course, it's true. Winning a match is a win in Jiu-Jitsu, if you would imagine. And in competition, of course, this is the only thing that matters in my opinion. But in the training room, I really think we must expand our definition of a win because Jiu-Jitsu is so personal to everyone who practices it. We all do it for various reasons. So why would a win be just one very specific thing? I want you to start taking into consideration yourself as well as the other person when you determine what a win is for you specifically. If you're a beginner getting wrecked by more experienced people, a win could be to not get submitted. Of course, you didn't win by the majority's understanding of a win, but for yourself, you know that you got the best outcome that you could have had at that specific moment against this specific opponent. If you are experienced, maybe your goal for today's role is to live drill a move because you've been working on it. And by the way, if you didn't know, live drilling is where you roll with someone but you are extremely focused on just hitting one specific move over and over and over again instead of catching what is there and presented itself just because you want to get the tap. To me, live drilling is an amazing and extremely underrated tool that even like your local black belts don't take advantage of. Let's take another example. Let's say an advanced guy wants to live drill his passing and he's rolling with a relative beginner that he can easily crush, but he loses focus and doesn't hit the pass that he wanted to. Instead, he chooses to catch some random subs that get presented to him. You could consider that as a roll where he didn't win, basically because he didn't get what he wanted out of that roll. Even though he subbed the opponent, he didn't stick to his set goals for that roll. Let's take another example. Imagine this. You often get caught by guillotines. Let's say that's your weakness. But if you go into a roll with a guillotine expert who fanboys a little too hard about Dustin Poirier, a win for you might be to escape a few of his guillotine attempts and stay calm when you're in that position. Even if he taps you 50 times, as long as it's not a guillotine, you win. Or even if it is a guillotine but you manage to escape like 4 other guillotine attempts, that's still good. You still won, in my opinion. Now there are countless examples, but I hope that by now you start to see where I'm coming from with this idea. You have control over your own training, so it makes sense that you'd get to define what winning is for you. You can set your own goals for each role, keeping in mind what you want to work on, who you're going against, and anything else that you can think of. And as long as you meet that goal, you win. It doesn't matter who taps in the training room. I also think that this idea should only be kept to the training room. Of course, if you go out into a competition, unless you're Gordon Ryan, you're not going there to stress test your training or stress test your moves. You're mostly going there to win, which makes sense, of course. If you really think about it, at the end of the day, Jiu-Jitsu is not only about beating people up. It's also about actually improving yourself and getting better technically as well. A win could be something as small as showing up to class when you really didn't feel like it. Yes, getting taps is also important, but not always important. It makes sense to get less taps if you want to work on your passing, your pinning, your takedowns, but building these skills will mean that you eventually will get more taps by using these new skills. But you just have to see the bigger picture and think a bit more long term than just this role. So the next time you're on the mats, don't stress about being the tap machine or the medal collector. Set your own goals, chase those small wins, and trust me, you both enjoy Jiu-Jitsu way more and get better faster. Your challenge for the following training sessions is to choose something and focus on it heavily during live rolls. Yes, Even if it means you don't catch that random lucky guillotine, just focus on the goal for that roll. Now, I'd like to hear from you. What is the funniest or weirdest win you've ever had in training? Like maybe you allowed the single mom to mother's milk you? That counts. Drop a comment below. And lastly, if this video gave you something to think about, smash the like button, subscribe for more BJJ mindset talk like this, and share this with your training partners, especially the one that never lets go of side control.